Hey there! Today we're going to have a look at a pen that came in this box. And I think a lot of you will recognize this box as being one of the Noodler's boxes. The Noodler's pens always come in these very simple cardboard boxes with some pretty nice artwork on there. I think they're pretty nice. There's also some information in the box. There was this nice sheet of paper, actually with color. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's actually color on the pens. How to open them up, how to take them apart. That's very, very cool. These pens are server user serviceable. Sorry, I got confused there for a sec. User serviceable, you can just take them apart yourself. Don't have to send them off. You can replace pretty much all the parts apart from the nib, obviously, but it's like seals, O-rings, etc. You can just go to your hardware store, purchase a few, and replace them. It's that simple. You get a nice history of the Tea Party and salt and all kinds of stuff in there, and then that's what you get in the box. Now let's have a look at the pen. The pen is made of ebonite, hard rubber, a material used to make pens for a long time. A lot of vintage pens actually use that material. I think it's very nice. It doesn't bounce, so if you throw this on the floor, it may shatter or break. So you have to be a little careful with it, but under normal circumstances, normal use, you should be fine with this material. One of the advantages of the material, I'm going to try and make this focus, is that it has very nice color, very nice properties. I really enjoy that. I'm not really getting this to focus. I'm still experimenting a bit with this camera. There we go. I think that's relatively good. It's probably my face that the camera is trying to focus on here, but they have it. So I mean that's pretty cool. Now I like this ebonite material. It's very smooth. When you think of hard rubber, you may think of something that's a little, I don't know, tacky or something, but it is not at all. It's very, very smooth. Okay, the pen. Let's start with the cap. On top of the cap, there's nothing, just that ebonite. I like that. With the original Konrad pens, you got this nice finish, and then you got a black cap. I thought that sucked a little. With this, everything is made of ebonite. So you have the little top part of the cap that keeps the clip in place. You have the actual cap, the barrel, the blind cap, all made of ebonite. You have the beautiful clip. I love this. Nice and springy, as you can see, and nicely rounded off. It will not damage any shirt pockets. You have this little metal ring, which has Noodler's ink on there. That too is nicely rounded off, based on a pen from the Adenauer era. You have the barrel, and then we have the blind cap. The blind cap is something you unscrew. For those of you not familiar with that, and that reveals the piston turning knob, because this is a piston-filled pen. As you can see, well, you cannot really see that, but there is an ink window right there. And I may be able. I just inked it up. Sorry. So if you would twist this, then a piston would move down there. In this case, push the ink out. You would put it in an ink bottle, turn it the other way around. You would draw up ink by creating a vacuum. So that's very useful. You have a feed and a nib, obviously. The nib, again, I'm not sure how well I can show you this, but it's the same nib used on the regular Konrad versions and the Ahab, so you know what you'll get. You will not get any more flex than in an Ahab or more flex than in a regular Konrad, because that system is exactly the same. You can take the pen apart, as with all Noodler's pens up to date. I think I will do a shootout in the future between this pen, the Ebonite Konrad, and the regular Konrad, and then I'll show you how to take them apart. Okay, so we have this nice clear ink window that is much clearer than on the original Konrad, where I'm not sure why you can see that, but it's a little yellowish on the original Konrad, and it is much clearer in the regular version. This is what I have to do. Instead of moving my hand around to block my face, I just put this close to the camera and it focuses. Bloody hell, I'm so stupid every once in a while. Okay, that's fine. Not me being stupid, but this actually working. So if I want to show you the nib, I just do this. See, there we go. That's proving difficult. Okay, so I'm not a complete moron. That's okay. That's okay. There we go. There we go. Have to be patient. So that's kind of nice. I like that. I like the pen. I like how that, at least as far as I can see, there seems to be a little bit more space for the nib to move around on top of the, on the top of the cap and not get snagged there. A decent size pen, as you can see. I really love that it's a bit bigger. I always thought the Konrad was a little small. Very nice. You can post it, then you get a really nice, serious pen. Looks good, feels good. I like it. So what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, seriously, for this amount of money, it's a bit more expensive than the Ahab and the Konrads. But let's face it, this is ebonite, and ebonite is a somewhat different material than the resin that's used a lot in other Noodler's pens. And I seriously think this looks very, very cool. So if you like this type of finish, the nice mottled design, you also get a ripple design that's also available. Very cool. What do I not like about it? Well, there isn't a whole lot. I mean, clearly the nib issue is still a bit of an issue for me. I mean, you do make sure you push that all the way in if you take it out, otherwise you may bend it, even though it seems a little less likely with this pen, but still be careful about that. Actually, apart from that, there's not a whole lot I don't like about this pen. I've used it so far with one ink. That caused quite a bit of railroading, even though it was Noodler's ink, Noodler's Apache Sunset. But the beauty of the design is it's so simple. If you need some really wet, so really ink in there to make it flex well, just get off the blind cap, squeeze a few drops of ink into the feed by operating the piston turning knob, and you're set to go. And you can just write, and it will be nice, wet, juicy, and will flex well. So honestly, I don't really see any problems with this pen. The one downside to it may be availability. Sometimes it's a little hard to get hold of Noodler's pens. I'm sure Noodler's is doing everything to make them available to everyone who wants to have them. Funky chicken. That's what this pen is. So, I hope this was useful. I'm now going to show you a writing sample, and that's all there is to it. So, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so here we go with the Noodler's Konrad in Ebonite. This is a new notebook. It is by the brand Ciak from Italy. Very interesting, very good paper, very nice. So I enjoy that. So what we have here is a Noodler's Konrad in Ebonite. Ebonite. Yes, well, hard rubber. The nib is a flex nib, as you know. Flex. And the ink is Apache Sunset. So, writing with this pen, he would get something like this. This is very good paper. It has a little bit of texture. So it's not as smooth as, for example, Rhodia paper, and that means that when I do some flex work, I feel a bit of resistance, but that's normal. That's actually not the nib. Okay, some fast writing. The feed seems to keep up very well with the writing. I would say there's nothing odd going on there. A little bit of flex writing. Well, obviously that is going to be the 40 of this pen, I would say. You have to go slow. And even then there may be some railroading. So this is what you would get, what I get in a normal writing circumstances. What you can do is squeeze some extra, let me see if I got some blotting paper here. There we go. Squeeze some extra ink into the feed by just operating the piston. There we go, that's one drop. And that should make for a nice bit of wetter writing. Well, let's see what happens. We still get some railroading, but it is less pronounced. You see that? Now I can move at a fairly rapid pace. This was just, the ink is now really flowing. And that's really fast writing, and it keeps up pretty well, I would say. So, in all, I think this is a nice pen. And there we go again. Be mindful, the ink level is running low in this pen. I have to clean it. As you can see, there's not a lot of ink left. But that's okay. That's okay. In general, I think what you will get is an affordable flex pen that performs pretty well. You may want to smooth out the nib a little bit, but you know that goes for a lot of pens. So that's pretty cool. Wetness, I would say, is pretty good. This is a fairly wet ink. Good performance. Nice even patch of ink. See, it's quite wet, and this is fairly thick paper, so that also helps. You can see the wetness maybe on the flex writing. I'm not sure you see the reflection of the light in the ink there, so it's pretty wet. I like it. I think this is a very nice Noodler's pen, a great incarnation. I like this way better than the original Konrad. So a cool pen, nice to fiddle around with. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.